In today's session, we are going to discuss about inbound email actions. Guys, we discussed outbound emails, inbound emails. When ServiceNow sends an email, that is called outbound email. When ServiceNow receives an email, that is called inbound email. ServiceNow can also receive the email links. Okay. Like we all have email addresses, every ServiceNow instance has its own email address. So here, this is actually ServiceNow instance. This instance has its own email address. Okay. Okay. Fine. Like we all have the email addresses. Every ServiceNow instance will have its own email address, guys. Okay. Every ServiceNow instance has its own email address. Okay. If you send an email to that email address, ServiceNow will receive that email. If you send an email to that email address, ServiceNow receives that email. Okay. So let me just open my personal developer instance. Okay. Let me just open my, it's logged out. Okay. So if you send an email to the ServiceNow email address, so ServiceNow email address will be dev instance name dev 222236 the rate servicenowdevelopers.com. Okay. The personal developer instance email will be like this one. Instance name at the rate servicenowdevelopers.com. If you send an email to this particular email address, okay, create finance case. Okay. If you send an email, ServiceNow will receive that email. Okay, if you send an email to the ServiceNow email address, ServiceNow receives that email. When ServiceNow has received that email, you can see that in the email log. Under emails section, under system logs, you have emails, right? In the emails, so in the type received section, in the type received section, you will be able to see the email that you have sent here. For your information, guys, this inbound email action concept is disabled in the personal developer instance. Okay. So in the personal developer instance, there is no inbound email action concept, but it is there in the organization service now. Okay. They disabled this feature in the personal developer instance, inbound email action concept. Okay. Remember this point. So inbound email action concept, even if you try it in your personal developer instance, it won't work. That option is disabled 2 years ago. It will work only in the organization ServiceNow instances. Whenever you send an email to ServiceNow, okay, whenever you send an email to ServiceNow, ServiceNow receives that email. That received email, you can find it under received section. Type will be received. You can find that email address here. Okay. Once a ServiceNow has received that email, there is a concept called inbound actions. Inbound actions. These inbound actions will run, guys. Okay. So do you remember in the beginning I told you, in the ServiceNow tables, we can create the records from different sources. Okay. In the ServiceNow tables, we can create the records from different sources. Form is one of the source. Script is one of the source. API is one of the source. Excel sheet is one of the source. Email is one of the source. So from the email, we are creating the finance case record now. Whenever you send an email to ServiceNow, ServiceNow receives that email under the logs here. Once ServiceNow received that email, this inbound actions will run. Okay. I am going to create an inbound action. Okay. You need to make sure this is active. Okay. So guys, here when to run, when this inbound action should run. Okay. When the email is new email, guys, ServiceNow can recognize that is a new email or forwarded email or replied email. If the subject is starting with a FW or FWD colon, it will understand that that is a forwarded email. If the subject is starting with RE colon, okay, RE colon. So if the subject is starting with the RE colon, it will understand that that is a replied email. ServiceNow can also recognize that that is a new email or forwarded email or replied email. So on the new email, if this action should run means you will select new here. Okay. The person who is sending, let us say myself, Uday Gadiparthi is sending the email. So Uday Gadiparthi has ITIL role or not, I have to check. Only when I have ITIL role, then it will actually trigger this inbound action. Okay. First thing, guys, whenever you send an email, ServiceNow receives that email. Once the ServiceNow receives that email, it will check this inbound email action check. That is a new email or not. Second thing, the person who has sent, let us say myself, Uday Gadiparthi, right? So this is my email address. With this email address, is there any user account or not, it will check. Under user administration, with this email address, there is no user account, right? Okay, with this user account, there is no user account. So here, that person doesn't have the user account is their name. There means he doesn't have ITIL role. That inbound action will not run. Got it, right? So the person who is sending an email, with that email address, there should be a user account. To that user account, there should be ITIL role. Okay. It should be a new email. The email address that is coming into ServiceNow, that email has any associated user record. That user record has ITIL role or not, it will check. Okay. Fine. So that is from, let us say, I am just keeping Uday Kishore 522. This one I am keeping. Only from this person's email address if the email is coming. So let us say I am just keeping Priyanka Reddy. Okay. Only from Priyanka this email is coming. Only from Priyanka email if the email is coming. Only then inbound email action will run. So that means email should come from this particular email address and the person should have ITIL role. It must be new email. It must be new email. So execution order. Execution order, you all know. Order with less number will be executed first. Order with less number will be executed first. Okay. Conditions here. So if the subject contains create finance case. The subject contains create finance case. Okay. So you can actually keep the condition using condition builder. This is called condition builder, guys. In this condition, you can get email field values. In the email, you have recipients, target, copied, blind copied, subject type, user ID. In the emails, email logs, you have fields, right? You can actually access those fields here. Let us take type. These are actually email fields. In the email logs, you have fields, right? You can actually access these fields here. If the subject contains create finance case. So using condition builder, I am actually keeping the condition. Okay. Or else what you can do, you can use condition script. This is called condition script, guys. Okay. This is condition builder. Here you can't write the script. Here you can write the script. Using script, you can write the conditions. You can see the field type is condition script. Okay. I can write script here. Email dot, there is an object called email object. Email dot subject dot index of greater than -1. This will give you true or false, right? Okay. This conditional operator will give you true or false. If it is true, so that means it must be a new email. The mail address should be from this particular mail address. The person should have ITIL role. The subject should contain create finance case. All these conditions must be true. Okay. All these conditions must be true. Then come to the actions part. In the actions part, you can use field action. Okay. So I want to keep the finance case table. There is a field called contact type, right? Contact type I am keeping here as email. So email we did not create. Huh? In the finance case form, we did not create. Okay, I'm going to create a new choice here, guys. Okay, I created a new choice now. We'll do one thing. We'll first save this one. contact type email I'm selecting here. Okay. So category I'm selecting here as software. Subcategory I'm selecting here as desktop. Sorry, subcategory I'm keeping Linux here. So likewise, you can set the finance case field values here. Okay. Likewise, you can set the finance case field values. What I'm doing is I'm just keeping only contact type as email, guys. Okay. Guys, remember, it must be a new email. The person who is sending the person should be this particular email address and should have ITIL role. So that means Priyanka Reddy should have ITIL role and the subject should contain create finance case. Okay. You can see so many restrictions are there, right? You can actually populate the field values using field actions. Or if you want to populate the field values using script, you can also populate the field values using script, guys. Here, current object is available. Current object refers to the table that you selected here. Current object refers to finance case. Current object refers to finance case. Current dot u underscore short underscore description. The short description, what I'm doing is I'm going to keep the email subject into short description. So you have email object here again. Okay, email dot subject. Email subject I'm keeping into short description. So email dot body underscore. Okay, you are actually filling the contact type as email. You are keeping short description as email subject. You are keeping description as email body. Okay. Current dot u underscore category is equal to software I'm giving. So impact Unix low low. Okay. Okay. Guys, here you are filling the short description as email subject, description as email body, and category as software, subcategory as Unix, and impact as low, urgency as low, and priority as very low. So I am using current dot insert here to create the record. Okay. Let me just take a whiteboard so that I can explain you better, guys. First of all, you are here. You will send an email. This is two guys, CC, BCC. You will send an email. So ServiceNow receives that email. Okay. Once a ServiceNow received that email, it will actually trigger the inbound email action. Getting my point? So, so this is your email address, guys. From here, you will send an email. Then ServiceNow receive it into the email logs. Once ServiceNow has received that email in the email logs, then it will actually trigger the inbound email action. Okay. Guys, remember the conditions you have to remember here. It must be a new email, and the person should be Priyanka here. She should have ITIL role, and the subject must be create finance case. Then it will actually keep the contact type as email, short description as email subject, description as email body text, and a category as software, subcategory as Linux, impact as low, urgency as low, priority as very low, and it will create the record. Current.insert will create the record. So once it has created the record, in the email field, there is a field called target field. There is a field called target field. In the target field, from this particular email, this particular finance case is created. Target field means, guys, remember, this target field is important here. Here, outbound email. From this particular record, this email is sent out. From this particular email, this particular record is created. Target field refers to, you can see this particular record. From this particular record, the email is sent. From this particular incident, this email is sent. Target means you will send an email to ServiceNow. ServiceNow receives that email. It will trigger the inbound email action. Record will be created. That record will be updated here. Okay, this email is received. Using this email, this particular record is created. Okay. So here, if you use current.insert, which record is created, that record will be mapped here. That record will be mapped here. Okay. Fine. Okay. Well, guys, I am going to compose a new email from here. This is the email. Subject I am actually keeping create. I have sent an email. That email will be appearing here. Then it will actually check the conditions first. If all these conditions are met, if this is a new email, the email is from this particular email address. The person has ITIL role. Okay. So then it will check subject is actually create finance case or not. Then if all the conditions are met, then it will actually run this particular script that we wrote here. It will create a finance case record. The finance case record will be updated in the target field. Okay. Okay. Guys, here these are called hard coded values. Hard coded values means these values will always be the same. This is not hard coded value. This is dynamic value. Subject, whatever the subject that you are sending, that will be the short description. But here category will always be the software. So what if I want to make this category value also dynamic? Then what you have to do is you have to use email dot body dot category. Okay. Subject, body, category, subcategory, impact, urgency, priority. So guys, these values also I should pass from the email. How should I send an email? Okay. Category colon, mention software here. Category Unix. Impact colon low. Urgency colon low. Okay. Critical. Okay. And we will write down here. I think no human interaction guys here. You are directly sending an email to ServiceNow. Okay. No middle person. You are directly sending an email to ServiceNow. ServiceNow receives that email. Okay. So in the body, category you have kept as software. Subcategory you have kept as Unix. Impact as low. Urgency as low. Priority as critical. And you have written the body. Okay. You have sent out an email. Immediately this inbound action will run. Once it has met all the condition, once it has met all the conditions, here we'll actually keep the email subject in the short description, email body in the description, email category. So in the email, we are passing category as software, right? That you are actually populating in the category field. In the email, you are passing subcategory, right? That you are actually populating into the subcategory field. In the email, you are passing the impact, right? That you are passing in the impact field. The email you are passing urgency field, that you are populating in the urgency field. In the email, you are populating priority, that you are populating in the priority field, and you are creating a record. So likewise, you can pass values from the email as well. Okay, but you should have a standard template. You should have a standard template. This is how you should send the email. Okay. So here, this category, subcategory, impact, urgency, priority. These are actually these are the names that you should remember. Okay. These are the names that you should remember. Category, subcategory. You should follow this template, guys. If you know this template, you can actually send proper values to ServiceNow so that ServiceNow can understand category is software, subcategory is Linux, impact as low, urgency as low, and priority as critical. Okay. So then what happens? It will come to the emails. Okay. And it will actually trigger the inbound action. It will create the finance case. Now you are able to understand, right? So now you understand in the ServiceNow tables, you can create the records using forms. You can create the records using script. You can create the records using email also. In today's session, you are able to understand how to create the records in ServiceNow using email. Clear, right? Okay. Using this email object, you can access any email field value. So you can see emails, right? Emails, right? So email dot subject, email dot error string, email dot user, email dot instance, email dot type, email dot deleted, email dot recipients, email dot copied, email dot body. Okay. Email dot body underscore email dot content type, email dot headers. You can get all the email field values using email object, guys. Email dot subject. Okay. Email dot notification type. Using this email object, you can get in email any email field value. See what I mentioned, guys. Remember, whenever you send an email to ServiceNow, ServiceNow receives that emails in the email logs, right? Let us say this email is received. So this email has values, right? Type, instance, user, notification type, UID, sys created on, deleted, wait. So all these field values you can access using email object. Email dot recipients means who all have received the email. Okay, email dot copied, who all are in the CC list. Email dot body means it will give you email complete body, email body. So what are the fields that are available in the email record? All field values access you can access using email object. Okay. So in this, there will be another field called body underscore text. So this field value I have taken. Text, only plain text. I am taking only plain text. Body underscore text means plain text I am taking. I don't want HTML. Body means HTML, guys. Body text means plain text. Body text means plain text. So you are actually getting all the field values using email object. You can use email object to get all the email record values. Okay. So that is how you will use the inbound email actions, guys. So now you understand whenever you send an email, it will create a record. What if I want to update the record? What if I want to update the record? Guys, to update the record, you have to pass the number. Which record you want to update? So you have, let us say we have multiple finance cases, right? You have multiple finance cases here. Which finance case record you want to update? Let us say this finance case record I want to update. Okay. So in the subject, you have to pass the okay update. You have to pass the finance case number. Which finance case number you want to update? If you don't pass the number, ServiceNow won't be able to understand which record do I have to update. Okay. So in the subject, what you have done, you have actually kept the number in the subject. So what you have to do is, I am going to create an inbound email action called update finance case. That also must be a new email. Here it should contain update finance case. Okay. Guys, remember here, first of all, that number with that number already finance case is there or not, I have to check. For that, you have to use current dot. Okay. Current dot get u underscore number, comma, u underscore number. So that number, you are getting it in the subject, right? Where number is equal to email dot subject dot split. Again, you have to send the email in the proper format, guys. Again, you have to send the email in the proper format. Subject should be in the proper format. Okay. Okay. From the subject, I have taken the number only. With that number, I am actually checking if that number is there in the finance case table or not. Current dot get number, and from the subject, I am taking the number, guys. So if that number is there, what exactly it does is that it will update the record. Current dot update. Current dot update means update the record. It will update the finance case record. Okay. So if you send an email, something like update finance case and the finance case number, it will read the email. It will read the number from the subject. With that number, if there is already a record or not, if there is a record, that will update that record. Got it, right? Okay, madam. So here what I am doing is this email subject, I am splitting it. Splitting using this delimiter. I am taking these two as delimiters. Okay. So this is total subject, right? I am splitting it using this delimiter. After splitting it, what happens? It will be converted as an array. It will come like this. From this array, zero index means this one. First index means this one. What I am doing here, I am taking the first index. Okay, first index I am taking. So in the beginning or ending, if there are any spaces to this number, I am removing the spaces. Trim means it will remove the spaces in the beginning and ending. Got it, right? So that I can take the perfect number. With that number, if there is a record in the finance case table or not, I am checking. If that number is there, it will update that record. If the number is not there, it won't do anything. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are actually creating the record using email. We are updating the record using email. Okay. You guys are clear, right? So for updating the record, you will use current dot update. For creating the record, you will use current dot insert. Guys, email script is a server-side script. Inbound email action is a server-side script where you can write all the server-side scripting like glide record secure, glide aggregate, glide date time, glide system, glide duration, glide schedule. All server-side APIs you can write it here. Okay. You are able to understand, right? Okay. Guys, if you are sending an email, ServiceNow is not receiving the email. Where to check? You have to check it in the email properties, guys. So in the email properties, email receiving checkbox must be checked. Only then ServiceNow will be able to receive the email. And also here you can see identify the email as reply by using the subject prefixes. If the subject is starting with a RE colon, AW colon, R colon, accepted colon, tentative colon, declined colon, that will be considered as a replied email. If the subject is starting with FWD colon, it will be treated as a forwarded email. If there is no email address in ServiceNow, whatever the email that you are sending, if that email address is not there in ServiceNow, okay, create the user account automatically. Automatically create users for incoming emails from trusted domains. So if you don't want to accept all the emails outside organization should not send an email to my organization, then you can restrict the domain here. Only the TCS.com. Only TCS employees can send an email to ServiceNow. Only this domain members only can send email to ServiceNow. Trusted domains when creating new users from incoming emails. Ignore email from untrusted domains unless from the existing user. Okay, use star for all domains. So if the email is coming from this domain, if that email address is not there in ServiceNow, it will create the user account automatically. It will create the user account automatically. Okay. So these are actually called inbound email properties, guys. These are actually outbound email properties. Okay. Fine. So guys, in the organization, how to check the organization email address? Organization instance has its email address, right? How to check organization instance email address? You have to go to email account. In the email accounts, you will be able to see SMTP account. In the email accounts, so you will be able to see here email accounts, SMTP account. There you can find the company ServiceNow email address. Okay. There you will be able to see company ServiceNow email address. So if you send an email to that particular email address, it will receive the email. Okay. Yes. Suppose guys, if you have multiple inbound email actions on the same table, if you have multiple inbound email actions on the same table, if let us say you are sending an email, that email is actually matching 4 inbound email actions, then it will create 4 finance cases. It should not create 4 finance cases. It should create only one. See, you have created 4 inbound email actions. Whenever you send an email, ServiceNow receives that email. That email will satisfy the 4 inbound email actions. Then it will create 4 finance cases. In this case, 4 finance cases should not be created. Only one should be created. Then that is where you have to use stop processing option here. Once the first one met the condition, once the finance case is created, it has to stop the processing. Remaining should not run. Okay. So that is where you can maintain the order here, guys. Execution order, right? Which one should run first and all? Let us say you have created 4 inbound email actions. First one give order 100, second one 200, third one 400, fifth one 500. Okay. So in that case, what happens? First one will run 100 order will run first. 200 second, 300 third, 400 fourth time. Totally it will run four inbound email actions, 4 finance cases will be created. In that case, 4 should not be created, only one should be created. So in that case, what you will do, you will click on stop processing checkbox. You can see here, prevents the system from running additional inbound email actions after this one. Okay. So that is how inbound email actions will work, guys. Okay. Clear, right? Guys, I may not be able to take the session tomorrow because I'm supposed to attend the wedding. If you guys are comfortable joining at 9:30, I'll be able to take the session. 9:30 to 10:30. If you are comfortable joining at 9:30 to 10:30, I'll be able to take the session tomorrow. If not, I won't be able to take the session. Okay. So 9:30 we'll take the session guys tomorrow.
Hi, Uday.
Yeah, hi.
I have 2 queries with respect to email scripting.
Yes.
Can I quickly share my screen?
Yes. Yes, Raj.
Yeah, Uday. So basically, with the one with the CC, right? So using this email data address, we can put the email addresses in the CC or BCC. So basically, where do we check whether it is actually working or not? So once we go to the emails.
Good question. Yeah. So you have to click on settings.
Settings here.
Copied. You have to move it to right side. Copied.
Okay. So this shows like who are all there in the CC list. Okay, that's okay. Because when I was opening the email, right, when we see the preview email record, it was not showing anywhere. So I was
It won't
confused.
show. Yeah, that is actually one of the valid questions.
And when you say here, right, basically, if you go to this one, everything says send ready. These types, there are different types, right? So what is each type means here? Like,
see,
why it is showing only send ready?
If the person has received the email to the email inbox, then it will be set as sent. Sent.
Okay.
Okay. If it is not actually released from the service now, it is sent ready.
Okay. So it means it is still in the queue to send.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Sent ignored means it has different purpose. Sent failed. So if it is trying to send and but failed means it will keep it as send failed.
Okay.
So every choice has its purpose.
Okay. Thank
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Any question from anyone else? Okay, I'm winding up the session for today, guys. We'll be connecting tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow morning 9:30, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.